Yes, we live. We back. We back. We back. Learn with me slash. No, my bad. We all black everything in this one. All black everything. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another session. We're gonna get at them. Today we're going at giving up this good information on the good broader files. Anthony Broader from the broader files. You did 22 essays on the African American experience. So we're gonna see what goes on in the Anthony Browder files. Here we go. I do not own the rights to this music. We're just getting it in, give you something to vibe to. At the same time, learn. Do your own research too. Don't take my word for nothing on this, what I'm saying? I'm just sharing information. Let's go. It says in the author's introduction, I am continually amazed by the ability of words to expand the human mind and open new doors for mental consideration. Everything that we think and know is a result of the information which comes into our consciousness and is stored in our mental computers. This information forms the perceptive through which we view reality. It also determines how we function within society and how others respond to us. To inform means to form or shape the mind or character through study, learning experiences, or instruction. The mind, like a computer, is only capable of responding to the information which is in its memory. If the information is not there, you cannot draw upon it. If the information is incorrect, then your responses will also be incorrect. The equation is simple. If limits are placed on your thinking, then limits are automatically placed on your ability to view reality and act intelligently. Educational systems are designed to control the thinking of people who through the control and manipulation of image and information. We are all a product of the education that we have received in school, at home, and in society. But sometimes, traditionally, education is not enough, particularly if the key elements essential to this education process, are omitted. Many years of my life have been dedicated to re-examining information which was not a part of my formal education. Needless to say, I have learned more about myself and reality than I could ever imagine. I have come to an understanding that whatever a person believes with feeling becomes the sum total of their existence. I believe that absolute knowledge of self is the ultimate objective of my life. As I speak to audiences across the country in numerous lectures, seminars, and interviews, I'm often asked by those who have truly been overwhelmed by my presentations, quote, how do you know all of this information, end quote. Usually I reply by saying, quote, rather than asking me, how do I know all this information? You should ask yourself, why is it that you don't know it? Quote, end quote. The feeling of powerlessness and misinformation which pervade the African American community have simultaneously created in one segment of this community a real sense of urgency for obtaining accurate information of self. Lack of specific information denies you the opportunity to make intelligent decisions about your life. Gotta have the proper information, right knowledge. See, and then feeding us all this garbage bullshit. You know what I'm saying? All this underlying bullshit secrets and things. Nah, man, we need that truth. Huh? We need the truth. We keep it going. This, in turn, affects the quality of your life in this world and in the next. Gregory said it best when he stated, quote, information is power. Education is not power. Money is not power. Information is power, end quote. It is only through the acquisition of information that a group of people can develop the ability to control their destiny. The current conditions that plague the African American community are a manifestation of a pervading sense of powerlessness brought about by misinformation. But even under these dire circumstances, a unique form of karma is evolving. Everything in our world is based on quote, the law of karma, end quote, which is the universal principle of cause and effect. For every action, there is a reaction. The popular media campaign promoting beautiful babies right from the start addresses the relationship between parental care and birth defects. This is karma. This is cause and effect. The same karmic, the same karmic principles apply in relationships to knowledge and information. Despite all evidence to the contrary, we are standing on the threshold of a renaissance of the African American consciousness. This mental rebirth is being spearheaded by the efforts of numerous men and women who are rescuing and reconstructing African history. We are being shown a new version of history which documents advanced African culture and civilization which preceded slavery by thousands of years. We are now introduced to irrefutable evidence that brings to light the African origins of mankind, the development of the concept of time, the first solar calendar of 365 and one-fourth days, medicine, law, algebra, architecture, engineering, religion, and so much more. Imagine the effect that this new information will have on the minds of school children when they learn that Hippocrates, is not the father of medicine, or that Christopher Columbus did not prove that the world was round, and that conceptually it is impossible to discover a land when there are people already living there. Uh, these are indeed important times. It is only through the positive portrayal of the African contribution to world civilization that people, especially African Americans, will begin to see the worth of African people and the necessity of an Afrocentric worldview. It is a historical fact that Africans were the first people on the planet, that they developed the earliest civilizations, and that there has been a concerted effort to deny the world of these great truths. A concerted effort. See, it's not something that's been, it was a mistake. I'm sorry. No, it's a concerted effort. So you got to understand what we're dealing with. Understand? Read between those lines. Right knowledge, the only kind we roll with. Facts, truth, evidence. Facts, evidence, truth, facts, however you want to say it, but gotta have those three. And the lack of an Afrocentric worldview in my early education left me mentally malnourished. The completion of my formal education signaled the beginning of my pursuit of seemingly unrelated fields of study, which have tremendously influenced my concepts of myself, my people, and the world in which I live. My training as an artist has cultivated within me the ability to perceive information through a profound understanding of symbolic imagery and its effects on the subconscious mind. An Afrocentric worldview of world history has allowed me to look at myself and America from a totally different perspective. The combined effects of these two methods of knowing are earth-shattering. Allow me to share an Afrocentric epistemological, excuse me if I messed that word up, but epistemological, that's how I get it, view of this process. Look at the back of the dollar bill, of a dollar bill. You'll see firsthand the differences between Afrocentric worldview and a Eurocentric view. The symbols on our currency represent the ideology of the founding fathers and the source of their ideology. Check it out. What are you talking about? See it for yourself. Now look at your own dollar bill. Go ahead, grab it. Reach in your pocket. Go ahead, grab your own dollar bill. See what you about to talk about here. Shannon Bisbee, keeper of the seal of the Secretary of State, describes the front of the ceiling featuring the bald eagle. Its wings are outstretched, representing dignity, freedom, strength, and vision. Above Above the eagle are 13 stars known as the constellations, which signify that the United States has taken its place among the nations of the world. On the eagle's breast is the shield. There, the bar at the top of the shield represents Congress. The 13 stripes below the bar represent the 13 original colonies supporting the Congress. Quote, the eagle carries in its beak a ribbon that displays the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which means out of many one. This signifies that 13 colonies have become one nation. It is in its right talons, the eagle grasps an olive branch bearing 13 leaves representing peace. The left talon holds 13 arrows symbolizing war. Excuse me. The eagle's head is turned toward the olive branch to indicate our nation's preference for peace, end quote. On the left side of the dollar bill is reserved for the Great Seal. It features a pyramid comprised of 13 courses of stone, which represent the 13 original colonies, and the eye of God encased in a pyramid. Some similar to that. Some similar to that. Right. According to Bisbee, quote, the unfinished pyramid symbolizes strength and foundation for future growth, end quote. Oh, excuse me, that's not the end quote. But above the pyramid, in a glory burst, is an eagle eye inside a triangle, which represents many interventions of providence in favor of the American cause. Above the eye is the Latin phrase "anut coptis," "anut coptis," which means he has favored our undertakings. At the bottom of the pyramid are the Roman numerals for 1776, the date of the Declaration of Independence. Under that are the Latin words Novus Ordo Seclorum, which were suggested by Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson, meaning a new world order of ages. The front of the Great Seal was designed by Charles Thompson, Secretary of Congress. The reverse was designed by William Barton, a specialist in heraldry, excuse me. And on June 20th, 1782, the emblem was adopted by an act of Congress. It has long been suggested that the soul of America is reflected in this great seal. I'm sorry, end quote from that. It's way back. My bad. But let's see. And it states in 1822, a Frenchman named Jean Champollion or John, June, whatever, John Champollion deciphered the Rosetta Stone and revealed the mysteries of the Egyptian hieroglyphs, which paved the way for the European interpretation of ancient African history. Today, an Afrocentric decipherment of the Great Seal will also shed new light on the establishment of the United States of America and its relationship with African people. Excuse me. It is a known fact that the founding fathers were Freemasons who studied astrology and other ancient metaphysical sciences. Of the men who signed the Declaration of Independence, 51 were Masons, as were all of the generals of the Revolutionary War. In addition, 14 U.S. presidents have been acknowledged as belonging to Masonic organizations. All of the men involved in the creation of the seal were practicing Masons who sought to incorporate specific values into the symbolism of the new nation. The links between Masonry and ancient Egypt science and metaphysics have been proudly heralded by European Masons for centuries. Nowhere is this relationship more clearly defined Then George G.M. James's book, Stolen Legacy. One great book. You check it out. One of my favorites. The Stolen Legacy. Okay. Okay, that's a great intro. We still on the intro. Let's go. All Black Everything. Reading from the Browder Files. Anthony Browder. Check him out. Okay. Like, subscribe, share. We just doing the thing. Peace and love. All Black Everything. Tell your friends. Love. Black power. Mm. Yeah. Black, black, all black, everything.